My sad face. This is terribly sad. Or should it be? Should I be sad or should I be like, I don't know. Or should I be like, but anyway, it's all the same thing, isn't it? Because what am I talking about? Gwede. Gwede is making me giddy. I mean, let's talk this thing down at the Eastern Cape, right? Nice wilderness, all the beautiful Garden of Eden kind of spotteroos. And now what happens? Shell comes, take the shit out of dolphins and whales and fucking starfish, everything flying around, and they And Gwede was like, hey man, like, I don't know, the impact is not that great. Well, so the Minister of Energy and Mineral Resources has, in his infinite wisdom, decided that is not going to be bad for marine life. The ocean will carry on. Ah, yes, I can understand. I mean, Gwede, with respect, my brother, where did you go first? With the step aside, everybody step aside. Boom, who actually did it? I mean, first it wasn't Tingeni, I think it was it? He was the first step aside, and then of course we had the late great Jake's son, and he was a step aside, and then we had the ace. So the ANC doing good. They're getting, well, I mean, they're pointing direction to people, but step aside. Zondo, please, let's hope that doesn't happen. Yeah, so we had the step aside. And then we had the car power story. We got all these big boats. Okay, they got power coming from Turkey, man. Turkey, they're going to provide power. Anyway, yeah. So these boats were coming down, and they were going to park off the East Coast and provide power to sort out our much-needed power supplies in Azania. Except, I mean, everyone else is making, we got the sun, you know what I mean? Sun, enough sun to drive our planet to the sun. Okay, and all of these, but no, we're going to buy Turkish boats to come and stand off our coast. And the funny thing, and Gwede was there, hey, we want the boats, we're going to put them off the coast. And they were going to get, he also wanted that Shell, the guys that were going to blow up and take all the, rearrange the rockery of Ocean South. They were going to supply all the liquefied gas to the car power ships for 20 years to supply us with power. So let me work this out. So they come along, they blow the shit out of the coast, destroy it for our kids, destroy it for generations to come, but hey, 20 years of power there, man. And then the ships, they come, sell it to the ships that make power to give to us who were screwed in the first place. I don't know, maybe I got it wrong. Maybe I'm seeing it wrong. There must be wisdom there somewhere. I mean, let's face it. But if it is, maybe it's a whole recycling process. We've eventually worked out, if we extract and we damage the stuff, okay, we wait for probably about 10, 15 million years, and it'll sort itself out. So we've got to make sure that timeshare options on coast or properties should be extended. But meanwhile, while we're doing it, why don't we just create filler sites in the ocean, just where they're blowing it up? So instead of turning around and keeping it and saving it, we get plastic bags and rubbish and cuck and old hi-fis and old TVs, and we throw it in the sea at the same place, right there where the oaks are blowing it up. The big ships are there, they boom, 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 make you sound under the water. The whales last seen trying to body surf to the moon. But don't worry about it. We don't worry about the noise because here we're getting a landfall. And now, guess what? The whole George Naisler area will become inland towns, because all the landfill will create a whole new vista, a whole new marina, and we could push it out to all the politicians can buy shares now. You know, hey, get your junk thrown in. We are going to rock this place. We are going to make it bigger country for everyone. And screwed up, yeah. But it's not that funny, is it? Huh? all this corruption, we hear everyone talking, we hear the president speaking about corruption, and I think he's actually got it in mind, I really do. But the whole system, man, from him down to the street sweeper in the corruption thing. So in other words, you clean this, don't cut off the head of the snake or keep the head of the snake, keep the tail of the snake, but this whole section must go away. And that is hard. How do you go to the whole of the public sector? Excuse me, you are redundant. From tomorrow, please don't come to work. It's not going to happen. So this has got to be cleaned up and purged slowly. But it's the people, it's us that are watching this, and the people that are not complaining about this. And think about your kids in that area. It is such a beautiful area. And we are allowing to make a decision for Shell, for a corporate, and for a couple of politicians who, I don't know what their axe to grind is. I'm not saying they're dirty, of course not. But I would like to understand their wisdom of how they actually justify this, that they can take a piece of a country and destroy it for generations, for thousands of years possibly, and be good with that? Oh, I don't know, man. Strange world. Thank God I don't live in it. I have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon.